Hello and welcome to my second video about customizing the Fossil Hybrid HR. My first video is available up here somewhere, and in it I basically showed you everything from changing the watch background and different dial options to customizing your side button controls and calibrating the watch hands. Since then, however, Fossil has introduced the 4.6 update and it's changed the way we customize the watch, so that's what I'll be focusing on in this video. For all the things that haven't changed, I'll point them out, and you can watch my earlier video to learn all about them. With that said, let's get straight to it. If we open up the app and head over to customization, the first thing you'll notice is that the interface has changed. You can still swipe through your different watch faces like before, but you can no longer create a new watch face from here. You also can't change the dials by tapping on them like you could before, and there is no pencil icon to change the watch background either. Instead, all you have is this little gear icon, which I'll get to in a second. In fact, the only customization options available on this main customization screen are to change what the side buttons do by tapping on any one of the options on the right. There are no new features for the side buttons with this update, so we're going to skip this part entirely. If you want more details for side button customization, you can check out my previous video. With the 4.6 update, all customization is now done through this little gear icon. So we'll tap on that and you can see we have My Faces, Gallery, Edit, Share, and Save. My Faces is basically a collection of watch faces that you've created yourself or ones that you've saved that were made by somebody else. Gallery is a collection of official watch faces made by Fossil that you can download and apply to your watch. Anything that you download from the gallery automatically gets saved to your My Faces collection. As far as I know, there is no way to edit the official Fossil designs apart from choosing what the side buttons do. Edit is where you actually go and edit all of your watch faces, whether they're designs you've made yourself or ones that you downloaded onto your phone. Share uploads your watch face to Fossil's servers and gives you a URL that you can share with your friends so you can all exchange watch faces, which is pretty cool. I'll show you how this works both for sharing watch face that you made yourself and for downloading watch faces that somebody else has made. Finally, Save saves your current watch face to the My Faces collection. So as you can see, it's a lot of stuff to get through, and I think the easiest way to understand it all is to do bits of it out of order, so we're going to start off by actually saving a watch face. You can see on this main customization screen that I've got 3 watch faces: white background, classic, and random test. These are all watch faces that I've applied at some point to my hybrid HR. But if we head into the My Faces option, which is accessible from any watch face, you can see that I only have 2 watch faces here: woven metal and simple. And at first I was really confused as to why there are 2 different lists of watch faces, but I think I understand it now. So what I think is that anything in this My Faces collection is tied to my Fossil account. So if I switch phones or if I get a new watch, I can simply log into my Fossil account on the new device and I'll be able to get all of these watch faces again. The watch faces in the main customization menu, on the other hand, are tied to this device only. If I want to keep these watch faces so I can use them with a new phone, I have to save them to the My Faces collection, which I can do by pressing the gear icon and then tapping on Save. And you can see now that the white background face is now in my My Faces collection. That is my understanding of the My Faces section, but I might be wrong, so if anyone knows better than me, please let me know in the comments. While we're in the My Faces section, you can swipe between different saved watch faces, and you can tap the Apply button to actually save them to the main customization screen, which you can see it is now here, and then you have to tap Apply again to actually apply it to your watch. And you can see that I have applied it to my hybrid HR, and it looks like that. It looks kind of cool, but we're going to zoom back out and head back into the My Faces section. Because what's really cool here is that this little watch icon at the top lets you preview a watch face on the hybrid HR without actually having to apply it. So if we want to see what woven metal looks like, I just tap on that little watch icon and it will show up on the hybrid HR for about 3 seconds so I can see what it looks like, and then it'll flash back to whatever I've currently applied. So that is a quick way to sort of try out different watch faces instead of having to click Apply, go to the main customization screen and then click Apply again. By the way, Woven Metal is a slightly modified watch face I downloaded from Curo Time Design. The original one looks really nice, and I put a link to that in the description below so you can download it yourself, and I'll show you exactly how that all works. If you keep swiping to the end of the My Faces collection, you eventually reach this screen, which tells you to create a new watch face or download one from the gallery. You can also create a new watch face by tapping that plus icon at any point in time. So let's go ahead and do that. And that brings us to this screen. So at the top 2/3 of it we have the watch, and the bottom third of the screen is basically a scrollable list of all the different options you can change. So we have options for text, stickers, watch backgrounds, which is the sort of default screen that we're on right now, custom backgrounds, and dials. I really like the idea here, but it's kind of a weird interface because you can't see things properly. It might be different for phones with bigger screens, but for me on the Pixel, I only see parts of the list, so I have to sort of scroll up and down to kind of center it before I can start swiping between all the different options. Anyway, the default setting is background, which is the screen we're on right now, so we can swipe between different background options and tap on the one we like. So we have that, dark, maybe a wave. If you want dials already on the background, like some designs have, you can choose this one. There aren't a lot of amazing default fossil backgrounds, but let's say we want to go with just a completely white background, so it's a blank slate. You tap on that, it's applied to the watch, and of course, at any point in the customization process, you can just tap on that little watch icon at the top to preview it on the Hybrid HR, and you can see we have a completely blank slate. So I'm actually going to change it to this one just to show you what that looks like. Tap on the preview option, and now I'm previewing a different watch face. Now if you want to add some text, we tap on the T icon, and here we have 4 options to choose the shade. So we have black, white, light grey, and dark grey. And underneath we have different text styles. So we have the official fossil font, but different versions of it. So we have bold, italicized, regular, light, thin, etc. So let's pick a style we like, let's say this one. And because I have a white background, I'm going to pick maybe black text so it's easier to see. And then I type something in by pressing that plus icon and then typing whatever text I want. So let's say test, click OK, and there we have the text at the center of my watch display. If I want to change it, I simply double tap it and the option comes up again. So let's change it to, let's say 1. And of course I can do whatever I want, so I can drag it around, place it wherever I want. If it's too small, I can pinch to zoom to make it bigger. And then I can place it up here, down here. It doesn't snap to any alignment or grid, so it is completely up to you, which is both good and bad, as we'll see later on with the dials. But you can even put it out of frame if you only want to see just a part of that text box. And what's cool about this is that it even supports emojis, so I can double tap the text again, switch over to this, and then head over to the emoji section, and I can pick between a bunch of different emojis. So let's say we do this and that, and you can see we have these emojis on our fossil display right now. I'm going to click the watch preview icon to see what it looks like on the actual Hybrid HR. And because it is a white tooth on a white background, it's not exactly visible. So what I'm going to go and do is head over back to the backgrounds and make the background black. Click the preview icon again, and now you can see what we have on the background here. So it's not the best watch face design, I'll admit that, but it is the best time to visit the dentist because it is tooth hurty. Anyway, I can pinch to zoom just like before. I can make it really massive and then put it on the edges if I want. I can put it in the middle, and of course I can pinch again to make it as small as possible. It is a bit finicky, this system, because you have to start within the sort of watch display to actually control everything, but let's say we want to do that. And you're not limited to just one text box here, so you can have up to 5 different text boxes. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and by default it just puts them in the middle, and they're all black, so I can't actually see anything. So I'm going to tap on one of them and make it white. I'm going to tap on something else, and hopefully I'm tapping on something else. Tap on that, make it white. Tap on the number 1, make it white. So now we have 4 things, including the emoji one. I can tap on any text box and change the text style, just like so, make it easier. And then finally we'll add another one. This would be number 5 because we've already got the emojis. 5 is here. If I add anything else, it'll tell me that maximum characters have been reached and you can't add anything else to the watch face. If you want to get rid of something like my horrible joke, you can simply click on it and drag it to the bottom to delete. So let's get rid of all the extra text. And I'll leave number 1 here, but I will change it to... It's a bit finicky, this system, but I will change it to Z. And I'll make it bigger. And let's say we want it italicized and fat, like I'll be when I'm older. And we'll stick that over here on the edge. So you can see I'm pinching to zoom, but it's not getting smaller. So it is just a bit difficult to control this, especially if you can't see what you're doing because your finger's in the way. But I'm going to pop this out over here and let's move on to stickers. Stickers are these little background graphics that you can add, and we tap on that and you can see what they look like. There is no plus button on this menu, so the only way to add them is to just tap on the ones you like. Let's say we want the sun, so we tap on that, and by default it's in light mode, but if I tap on the sticker it changes it to black mode. And just to show you what that looks like, I'm going to quickly switch over to my light background and then tap on the sticker, and you can see that that is what dark mode looks like, so it's just black. Light mode looks light grey on the watch display, but if I actually preview it, it's closer to white on the Hybrid HR's display. So you won't see it on that background clearly. So if we're keeping the white background and this black sticker, I'm just going to make it smaller again. Same controls, pinch to zoom, move it wherever you want, even outside the boundary, and then drag down to delete. So I'm just going to make that tiny bit smaller. And of course I already had my text up here somewhere, I can't see it, so I'm going to tap on the text, go back to my text thing, hopefully I'm tapping the right thing, and then I'm going to make it black. So now you can see my Z is there. I can of course pinch to zoom to make that bigger, while at the same time tapping on my sticker, pinching to zoom to make that smaller, and I can rearrange them however I want. Just like with the text, you are limited to having 5 stickers on your watch display at any given time. I'm not entirely sure what the theme is supposed to be here. It seems like a Wild West theme, but hopefully in the future maybe we'll get some different options. Tapping on the middle icon brings us back to backgrounds again, so we'll skip this and we'll go straight to the camera icon, which is where you can add custom backgrounds. So these are either watch faces or designs or just random memes or pictures that you've downloaded onto your phone, or they're ones that you've taken from the camera. So we can tap on the camera icon, and it's the same sort of interface that I showed you in my previous video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll just quickly take a photo. Let's just take up the table, that looks good. Click on the tick icon here. And now we get to this sort of standard interface where we can crop and rotate and pick a different design. Let's say we want to go with this contrast, that looks kind of like an art piece, I guess. Click choose. And now it brings us back to the watch face design, and you can see that this is what my watch face would look like. If I want to preview that on the Hybrid HR, again, I just tap on the watch icon at the top, and it'll show up on the Hybrid HR for about 3 seconds, so that's what it looks like right now. Surprisingly, it doesn't look too bad. If you want to delete a background, you can't drag it down like you did with the text and the stickers. Instead, you long press on the background until you see a little X, and then you tap on the X to delete it like so. The final option for customizing this is the actual dials, but before we get to that, I just want to move my Z here so it's easily visible, and my sun, I'm assuming that's the sun, I'm going to make it just a bit smaller, which I'm struggling to do. There we go, move it to the right, and then I'm going to tap it again to make it white. I think that looks kind of cool, so now we're going to head over to the dials. So we tap on the final icon in the list here, which brings us to the dials, and this is very similar to my previous video, except you can't see everything because you have to scroll up and down to actually center this and see what you're looking at, and then even when you tap on an option, let's say current temperature, you have to scroll again to be able to read what that actually does. To apply a dial to your design, you simply long press it until your phone vibrates, and then you drag it up to the watch display. By default, it is going to have a white icon and white text, but you can tap on it once to switch between black text, black icon, and white icon, white text. So we're going to keep it black because I want to be able to see it against a white background. And of course, you can position it wherever you want, which is really useful. But at the same time, it is kind of difficult if you want to get the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions, and you want to have a watch face where it's perfectly aligned. It is very difficult to align them because there's no grid, there's no sort of procedure where it would just snap into place or get perfectly aligned or centered. So it is very much difficult to do it with your hand. And then, of course, I'm doing it through a camera, but when you're doing this, your finger might be blocking the screen, so you can't see what you're looking at. So I do like the ability to place it wherever I want and switch it between white and dark text, but I would also like the ability to sort of center it or have it snap into place. So for the time being, I'm going to put my heart rate back into that sort of white blotch, and I'm going to make it black. And you'll notice this little option down here which says ring. So this is where you can choose a dial design. Right now I don't actually have a dial, it's just the icon and the text, but I'm going to tap on ring, and I'm going to scroll up here to actually show you what this looks like. And we have outline, dash, thin, thick, and so these are all the black versions. And then again we have the same exact thing for white, so we have outline, dash, thin, and thick. So let's say we want to do outline. That's what it would look like. My text was black, so I can't see anything, so I'm going to tap on it, and my text turns white, and that's what that would look like. Dash would look like that, thin, thick, and if we want to try out the white one as well, outline looks like that. Tap on it to make the text black, dash, thin, and thick. So I can position it wherever I want, but I can't resize it to make it bigger or smaller. But I'm going to pop that back here. I'm going to get rid of the dial because I kind of like that white blotch, so I'm going to click on empty. And you can see it's just a heart rate. I'm going to go back to my feature. Let's add something else. Let's say steps, vibrates, bring it up there. That is kind of difficult to see, so I'm going to make it, let's say, dash. That looks horrible. Let's do thin. That's decent. So I'm going to pop it here. Again, you don't have to put it within the watch face. You could just put it around the edges, around the top, if you just want to see the text. So you do have a lot of freedom with where you want to put your dials and what you want them to display. That is a very angry biker outside my house. I don't know if it picked it up in the microphone. Anyway, I'm going to put my heart rate here. Step counter up there. Go back to the features. Let's do day and date. Bring that up here. I'm not going to put it in the middle because that is where my watch hands would be. So I'm going to make it white, and actually no, we'll make it black, and we'll give it, let's say, dash. That looks horrible. And I'll pop it down here next to my heart rate. And again, I can preview this on my watch to see what it looks like. So I'll tap on that preview icon, and it should show up on the Hybrid HR. I'm going to zoom in, and that's what it looks like. Unlike the text or the stickers, you are limited to just having 4 dials on your watch face at any given point in time. So if I bring my battery up here, and let's say I also want the weather, it'll show me an error saying you've already got 4 features, you can't have any more. So we'll get rid of the battery by dragging it all the way down to the bottom to delete it, and we'll bring the weather back up here as well. Put it next to the sun because that's where it should be, and we'll give it, let's go with thick. Put it next to the sticker right over there. I'll preview that on my Hybrid HR just to see what it looks like, or if I want to make any final changes. Keep in mind that if you have a disconnected icon or new notifications enabled, you will want to keep the bottom part of your screen free so you can see it. Otherwise it will cover whatever widget you have down there. But let's say I'm happy with this hideous watch face. I'm going to tap on that tick icon to save it to the My Faces collection and my main customization screen. So the watch face is here in my main customization screen. It's called New Preset, and if we go to my Faces collection, it is also here as New Watch Face. Now what's interesting, or rather weird, is that if I try to rename this to something else, let's say hideous, because that's what it is, and then I go back to the My Faces collection, it hasn't actually changed the name here. So it's still called New Watch Face. So any change I make to this watch face in the main customization screen, I have to click the gear icon and then resave it to my Faces collection, where you can see it is now here with hideous, but I also have the original. So I'm going to have to delete the original and make sure that I have the updated version. So every time you make any changes, any updates, anything, you have to resave your watch face to the My Faces collection to make sure that you are saving the most up-to-date version of your watch face. Let's click apply just to see what it looks like on the Hybrid HR. and you can see that it looks absolutely hideous. But let's say that I want to change something, so I'm going to click on the gear icon, and now we head into the edit option here. And this brings us to the exact same interface as before, so we've got backgrounds, text, stickers, custom backgrounds, and dials again. Let's say I want to move my weather dial just down a bit. I want to move the sticker to the right. I want to make it just a bit bigger so it's a bit more visible, coming out from the edges. Z, I don't like here. I'm going to move it here. I'm going to put my step counter up there, heart rate up here, and let's move the date just a bit to the middle. I don't like that outline. Let's switch it to this instead. That looks better. For the weather, let's make it thin, so that looks better as well. Let's say I'm happy with this design. I want to preview it on the watch just to see what the difference is. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that, even though I shouldn't be because it is hideous. I'm going to click on the tick icon to actually save it again. And now I'll have the updated version saved in the main customization screen here. So you can see hideous has now got that updated design and it has automatically changed it on the watch. But if I head back to the My Faces collection, it still has the original version here. So I'm going to have to go back, click on the gear icon and save it again. So I have the updated hideous here, and this is the older hideous here. I'm going to have to delete the old hideous. So now I have the updated new version in the My Faces collection. So we've looked at My Faces, edit and save, and let's say that I really love this watch face and I want to share it with the world. So we're going to tap on share and it'll generate a URL that you can copy and then send to your friends or your family or really anyone with the Fossil app installed on their phone. Once they've got the link, they can save it to the My Faces collection and then apply it to their watch. So let's say you're on the receiving end and you want to download a watch face that somebody else has shared with you. Here's how to do that. So we're going to go to Curo Time Design just for the sake of this video. And I'm going to download a watch face. I like the design of this one. So I'm going to scroll down here and this is a URL. So assume somebody has shared a URL with you and you want to open it. You get the URL, you tap on it and it'll ask you if you want to open it with your Fossil Hybrid app or if you just want to open it in Chrome. So let's, for the sake of this video, just assume that we open it in Chrome. It'll show us this web page where it'll ask you to either download the app for your device or just download the watch face. Now I already have the Hybrid app installed on my phone. So if I click on download watch face, it'll open the app and save it to My Faces collection. So you can see My Faces up here and I've got the design saved here. So I'm going to click apply and it'll then move that to my main customization screen, or copy it rather. And then from here I can apply it directly to my watch. And you can see that's what that looks like, but the benefit of being able to download shared watch faces is that you can change and make whatever edits you want. So we're in the main customization screen here. I'm going to tap on that and then tap on edit. And then from here I can change, let's say I want to add a new dial. There are 3 dials here. I don't really use a step counter much, so I'm going to tap on that and then scroll somewhere else and make it battery. So you can actually change dials without having to delete them and then dragging a new one up there, so you don't want to ruin the overall design. Let's say I want to change the weather to, let's say heart rate. So I'm happy with that. And then I'll change the time, and you can see it just moved a tiny bit there. Unfortunately, I'm going to change that to, let's do second time zone. And if I want to add the weather again, I'll just drag it all the way up here, put it in the middle, or what I hope is middle. Let's change the background to black and make the text white. Or actually no, let's do black text and a white background. That might look better. That looks decent to me. I want to preview it on the watch and you can see the difference here. That's what the new design would look like. I can click on apply, or rather the tick icon. It's now updated the design in the main customization screen. I can then click on the settings icon and then save this version to my Faces collection. So this is the version I created and this is the version which is the original. And then I'll just delete the original and now I have my own version of that specific watch face. So The good thing about being able to download other people's designs is that you can customize them and make them truly yours. Finally, we look at the gallery option. So these are watch faces that Fossil has officially designed, and they've got some pretty cool designs. You have favorites and most downloaded, where you can see sort of 4 watch faces in a row. You can tap on see all to see a vertical list of all the watch faces that they've designed. We can scroll through the list. It takes a while for it to load, but let's say you find, actually that's the entire selection, but let's say you find a watch face that you kind of like. This one looks interesting. I can tap on that to see a bigger display, or I can tap on the preview icon to see what it would look like on my hybrid HR. That looks kind of interesting. So if I click on the download button down here, it'll automatically save it to my Faces collection. So it says watch face successfully saved to my face collection. I can click on open and it is right here. So if I click on apply again, it'll copy it to the main customization screen. From here I can make any last minute changes. Let's say I want to change the dials, I can do that from here. Let's do schedule timer, that's fine. Save that, it's applying it to my watch. The only thing with Fossil's official watch face is that you can't change anything else. So the side buttons are the only things you can change. If I go into the gear icon, I don't actually get an option to edit. So all I have are my faces, gallery, and share. And when you say share, the only thing you are sharing is really your 3-button arrangement. So there is no option to edit this. I can't change anything. I can't switch dials. I can't choose any other option. So this is all I have. I can't even convert this to a white background. And that basically covers the main new customization features with the 4.6 update. It's a lot of changes and not all of them are good or particularly intuitive, but I think it's great that we're even getting these features, or that Fossil is listening to user feedback and taking steps to improve the software experience on the hybrid HR. If you have any questions, comments or concerns about the watch or the things that I talked about in this video or previous ones, please let me know and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you and your family are safe and well wherever you are in the world. This has been Zaeem Siddiqui from Zeus Reviews. Over and out.